everyone. Welcome to week 5 of PE. Super excited to be back with you all. We're going to do something super fun today. So I'm just going to give you a real quick overview of what we are going to be doing today. So our two goals for our session that you will have to remember for your weekly assignment after this are how to transfer weight from one foot to another. So one of the activities we're going to do today is going to show us how to do that. And then the second one is to explore pathways, levels, and relationships. So pathways are the directions you take to get somewhere. So if I was walking from here to my front door, I can see my front door, so I can go in a straight pathway. But if I was walking from here to my front door and my couch was in the way, I might have to go around my couch, which would take me in a different pathway. Levels are high, medium, and low, things like that. So those are our different levels. So if I'm down here, this is my lower level. If I'm up here, this is my higher level. And we're going to be doing different skills at different levels. And then relationships. So our relationship between our feet on the ground, our hands in the air, things like that. So those are going to be our two things that we are focusing on today. We're going to start with an introduction, a stretching session, and then we are going to move into our fitness development, which is a little game deal where we are going to do a ton of different animal movements, which are kind of silly, but they're really fun. And then we are going to do some gymnastic skills today. So we are going to be doing things like forward rolls, log rolls, all of that good stuff, which I know y'all are excited about because you've told me about it. So we're gonna start with that and we will get going. We're gonna start with some stretching, but first we gotta get our heart rate moving, so let's do some jumping jacks. 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, go ahead and swing those arms back and forth. We're gonna start with swinging one arm over, grab our elbow, pull it towards us. And do the same with the other arm, swing that arm across, grab your elbow, pull it towards you. And remember our back scratching stretch, so you'll put one arm in the air, grab your shoulder blade with it, with your other arm, grab your elbow, and pull it towards you. It's that armpit stretch, you feel it down here. And switch, other arm in the air, grab your shoulder blade, grab your elbow, pull it down. Feel it in your armpit right here. Good job. Let's stretch our back out, do some twists, and then we'll stretch our legs real quick and move right into our fitness development. All right, put your arms out in a T, turn to one side, bend down and stretch that leg out. All right, back up to our T, towards the other side, stretch the other leg. And then back up, we're gonna go down to middle. So reach straight down. You should feel this behind your knees. All right, let's do 10 more jumping jacks and then we'll get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome job. We are going to move right into our animal movement. So these are a couple that you are familiar with. We are going to start with a crab walk, which I will show you how to do. We're going to do a crab walk where our hands and feet are on the ground. Our belly button is facing the ceiling or the sky. And we are going to pick a pathway that we want to move in. So that's going to be that curved, straight, zigzag, diagonal pathway. And then we're going to do that for about 20 seconds, and we're going to do a locomotor movement after, which is going to be jumping jacks. So we're going to do some jumping jacks, again, in a different pathway. We are going to do a bear walk next, which is where hands and feet again are on the ground, but this time our belly button's facing the floor and our bottom is facing the air, so we're flipped the other way around. Again, pick a pathway to do that in. And after that, we are going to do high knees. That's going to be our non-locomotor movement because we're not going to be going anywhere. We're not going to be going in a direction. And then we are going to do a frog jump, which is where we reach down, touch the ground, jump up in the air. And that is, I really want you all to think about our levels when we do that frog jump because we're moving from the bottom floor or the bottom level up to the top when we reach towards the sky. So we're shifting levels in that. And we're also thinking about the relationship of our hands and feet on the ground. We start with our hands and feet on the ground when we touch the floor, and then we jump off of our feet, reach towards the sky, and come back to the ground. So that's where kind of our hands and our feet are changing. We're also transferring weight as we do that. And then after we do the frog jump, we are going to do, we're going to skip in a direction again. So those are our 3 animal movements and our locomotor and non-locomotor movements, and we're gonna jump right into those. We're going to practice the crab walk. So I'm gonna go ahead and get down. This is what our crab walk looks like. And 1, 2, 3, get walking. Try and crab walk in a circle. Try and crab walk in a big circle. All right, and go ahead and stand up. And we are going to do some jumping jacks. So start jumping. Awesome job. Little bit longer. And freeze. Okay, now we're going to do our bear walk. So a bear walk looks a little silly. Lean down and touch the ground. And we're gonna put our bottom towards the sky, and this is the bear walk. So again, let's walk in a circle. You can even make bear noises if you want. Act like you're a bear. All right, and we are gonna do some high knees now. So put your hands straight across from your belly button, and I want you to try and kick your knees to your hands, just like this. High knees, high knees. Awesome job. And the last animal movement is a frog jump. So you bend down and touch the ground, and we reach to the sky like a frog. All right. Last movement, let's get going and go. Let me see your frog jumps. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's end with a nice skip, and I want you to pick a directional path. So I'm going to skip straight forward and straight backwards. So I'm going in a straight line. You could go curved in a circle. You could go zigzag. Pick a pathway. And that is all of our animal movements. We are going to move right along to our gymnastic skills. We are going to learn 2 gymnastic skills today. Our first one is going to be a log roll, and I'm going to teach you how to do both of these. I'm just going to talk through them first. So the first one's going to be a log roll, and we are going to start with our belly on the ground. I have a mat here. You might not have a mat at home. That's okay. You can grab a blanket and lay it down. You can lay pillows down on the ground. Be creative. We're engineers. Find something to put on the ground so that you're not on like a hard floor, on hardwood floor. Okay, so we are going to start with the log roll. We're going to start on our stomach with our hands up in the air, which is what we call Superman, like we're flying through the air. hands are gonna be up in the air, and then our feet are gonna be behind us. So we're gonna be laying flat on our stomach, and we are going to roll sideways to our back to our stomach, back to our back, like a log roll, right? And then the next one we're gonna learn is a forward roll, which is gonna be super fun. If you do not feel comfortable doing a forward roll, that is totally fine. It's the first day of doing gymnastic skills. You can stick with a log roll, but I am going to show both of them in case somebody does want to do a forward roll, all right? So our goals for our gymnastic skills are I can roll like a log, and remember we are working on transferring our weight from one body part to another. So when we roll, when we do a log roll, we're gonna be transferring weight from our stomach to our back as we roll. And then we're also going to be, in the forward roll, transferring weight as we roll, right? We're starting with our hands on the ground, and as we roll forwards, then we transfer our weight to our feet because we're going to end in this position. So just pay attention to that stuff. We're gonna talk about it at the end. And I will show you how to do a log roll and a forward roll. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. So when we do a log roll, like I said, we are starting with our belly on the ground and our hands out in front of us like a Superman, just like this. And what we're gonna do is we are going to shift our weight to our back to our front, back to our back. That is a log roll. So I'll go back the other way again. Starting with my hands out in front of us. Roll. Just like that. If you cannot roll with your hands out in front of you, it is okay to start with your hands like this so you can push off the ground and roll. That is okay. Again, this is the first day. This is the first time we're working on this. We can only get better with practice. So if you need to put your hands on the ground to do your log roll, that is okay. I just want you to be able to roll because that is our goal for the day, to do a log roll. So any way that you can do your log roll, do it. That is totally fine. We will practice. All right. And the second skill we are learning is a forward roll. So pay close attention. We are going to start with our hands in the air. We're always going to start with our hands in the air in a forward roll. We are then going to bend down like we're doing a cannonball, but our hands are going to be on the ground. So my feet are on the ground, my hands are on the ground. What we're going to do next is tuck our chin. We want to touch our chin to our chest, and we're going to almost act like we're looking through our legs at the wall behind us. What we're not going to do is put the top of our head right onto our mat like this and push off. We do not want to roll right on our head because then we might injure our neck or our back or our head. So we want to try and keep all of the weight on our hands. And so what you're going to do is as you look under, you're going to push off of your hands and your feet, and it's going to roll you forward. So this is what it's going to look like. Hands on the ground. So we'll start at the beginning. Step 1, hands in the air. Step 2, hands on the ground. Step 3, push off of your toes and look behind you. And step 4, re-roll and stand back up. So let's go through it one more time and then I'll let you all practice. Step 1, hands in the air. Step 2, hands on the ground. Step 3, look through your feet at the wall behind you. And step 4, we push and we roll and then we stand back up. So if you want to take a couple minutes to practice your log roll and your forward roll, or just your log roll or just your forward roll, take a couple of minutes and practice, and then we are going to come back together and we are going to work on some inverted balance and balance stunts, okay? All right, so moving on to some balancing stunts. We are going to do a one-leg balancing skill. So again, if you have something you can stand on, I'm on a mat. If you don't have a mat, if you have pillows, if you have a blanket, or even if you just have your carpet, just something that we won't fall and hurt ourselves on, because remember, we want to be safe. So you are going to start on 2 legs. I'll stand to the side so you can see. You're going to start standing on 2 legs. So we have our body weight split between both of our legs right now. I want you to put your hands out in the air like an airplane, like this. And you are slowly going to pick one of your legs and start to pick it up behind you as your leg goes up, your chest goes down. As you start doing this, if you feel like you're about to fall, you get wobbly, put that foot back down. It's okay. So slowly pick it up and try and hold it. Try and balance. It's super tricky. I know this is the first time we're doing it. Again, if you feel like you're about to fall, you're gonna lose your balance, put that foot back down. It's okay. And just start again. If that's too easy, if you already can do it on one foot, try switching to the other foot. So instead of doing my left foot, I'm gonna try to balance with my right foot, just like that. So take a couple minutes, practice balancing on either one foot or both feet. And I want you to think about what it feels like when we transfer that weight. So that is starting with our weight in both feet. And then we are transferring all of our weight to just one foot by lifting that leg up and having that balance to do so. All right, so you can hit pause on this and keep practicing on your own if you would like. If not, we're gonna do one more skill for balancing and actually core strength activity. So we are going to get down on all fours. So both knees on the ground, both hands on the ground. We're gonna do some core work, our abdominal muscles right here. And what we're gonna do is I want you to lift both toes off the ground and hold this for a couple seconds. Lift both toes off the ground. Now, I want you to pick one hand and put it in the air. I'm gonna put my right hand in the air. Balance like this for a couple seconds. You'll feel yourself squeezing your core. Put that hand in the air, and now your tricky part is to try and put your opposite foot in the air. So if I have my right hand out, I'm gonna take my left foot, and try and balance in the air. If you need to put this toe on the ground, you can. Try and lift it up. If you're a little shaky, put that toe back down. It's okay. Now bring back to all fours, and I want you to try the other side. Remember that transfer of weight? We have all four, we have our weight split evenly between both of our hands and both of our feet, or both of our knees. When we put one hand in the ground, we're transferring that weight to the other one and our other two knees. We don't have any weight on this hand. Now try to extend the opposite leg. So I have my left hand in the air. Extend your right leg in the air. Whoop. Try to balance. And then back to all fours. I want you to practice doing that just for a couple of seconds. Squeeze that core, make sure your core is super tight. And then we will talk about everything that we did, and we will be all done. So just to real quickly wrap up everything we talked and learned about today. So our 2 goals for today were to learn how to roll like a log, which we practiced, we did. We might not be masters at it, but that's okay. That's why we have to practice. So we started learning how to do a log roll. And then our other skill, or our other goal, was to explore pathways, levels, and relationships. So we really did most of that during our animal walk. So we explored different pathways by moving in different ways. During my crab walk, I moved in a circle. That was a curved pathway. During our, what did we do last? Skipping. During our skipping, I moved forward and backwards in that straight pathway. So those are all different pathways, directions. Our levels changed during our frog jump. We went from all the way up here in the top to touching the ground at a low level. So that was that high to low level. And then our relationships really had to do with our weight transfer. So having weight on all four when we did our balance set at the very end, where we started on all four, 2 hands and 2 knees on the ground. And then we transferred our weight as we picked up one hand. When we picked up one hand, all of our weight went to our other hand and our 2 knees, just like that. When we lifted up that back leg with our hand, we only had weight in one hand and 1 knee, so that was another transfer of weight. So we hit all of our goals that we worked on today. Your assignment, your question that you're going to have to answer is, or your couple questions are, what weight did we transfer today from one body part to another? So which body parts did we transfer weight from? And then what were a couple of the different pathways that you learned about and you used in your locomotor movements or your animal movements that we did, or even in our forward rolls and log rolls that we worked on. So I want you to think about that stuff, and then when you go to Google Classroom, there will be a question there for you to answer. And I hope you all had a great time today, and I can't wait to see you all next week. Have a great week.